Sirius, the filming site of the reality show Voices of Love, was buzzing with activity. As a relatively unknown participant, Jessica sat alone in the corner. Emily, the top-tier star, was surrounded by a group of male contestants, basking in their attention and laughing heartily. Cheerful, oh my, why are you all choosing me? I have such a hard time making decisions. Friendly Emily, why don't you consider Jessica? Unfriendly at the same time, Emily cast a not-so-friendly glance in Jessica's direction. Sly after all, she has a knack for taking things that belong to others. Serious, the implication in Emily's last sentence was strong. Jessica's character was already unpopular, and now the live comments were even worse. Cheerful Emily is so kind. Last time, Jessica blatantly took the lead role from her, but Emily didn't hold a grudge. Truly the sweetheart of the entertainment industry. Unfriendly, how can Jessica even compare to our Emily? She doesn't deserve Emily's leftovers. Angry, can Jessica just leave already? She's so annoying. Serious, but in reality, Jessica had earned that lead role through her own abilities. No one would believe that Emily, who had been in the industry for so many years, had no acting skills at all. Emily managed to turn a quirky character into a complete mess. Jessica didn't have as many connections in the industry as Emily, nor was she as good at marketing herself. Sad, after getting the role, the public opinion was overwhelming. As a minor celebrity, I was subjected to a wave of online abuse. It was obvious who was behind it. Unfriendly Jessica? Everyone knows she's shameless. Friendly, I still prefer teaming up with you, Emily. You're much prettier than Jessica. Serious, James, who had always been infatuated with Sarah's beauty, took this opportunity to belittle Jessica in order to win her favor. Sly Jessica, you see, there are some things you just can't take. Serious, this statement was a blatant provocation. In an instant, hundreds of eyes were on Jessica. The production team had spent a lot of money to bring her here, knowing full well that Sarah and she didn't get along. Now they pointed dozens of cameras at her, hoping for a confrontation. Hopeful, just when everyone thought Jessica would back down and apologize to Sarah, she leaned back slightly in her chair and spoke 2 sentences to the tall figure at the door. Cheerful darling, look at them. Cheerful.
David's surprise appearance on the dating show set shot to the top of the trending list in minutes. The live chat exploded with comments.
Am I seeing things? Is that really David?
Doesn't he never do variety shows? Why is he suddenly on a dating show?
How dare Jessica call David darling? Can she stop trying to get attention?
Honestly, Jessica and David do make a great couple, a perfect match.
Are you blind? Clearly, it's our Emily who deserves David. Anyone supporting Jessica should leave. David wore a beige trench coat and a pair of expensive black sunglasses, looking incredibly stylish. Many of his female fans on set couldn't stop screaming. I jogged over to him, hoping for a hug. But then, a teasing voice came from above.
Jessica, you're really something, calling everyone darling.
My hand awkwardly froze mid-air and then returned to my pocket.
Aren't you my darling?
David was clearly not pleased with this response and walked past me to greet the other guests. Seeing David's cold attitude towards me, the other guests felt emboldened. Sarah even grabbed David's hand and shot me a provocative glance.
David, I knew you wouldn't like someone like Jessica.
I heard she even spent the night with someone just to get on the show.
David's expression changed, his handsome eyebrows raised.
Really?
The other guests chimed in. Of course, it's true.
How else could someone as insignificant as Jessica get invited to the show?
Who would believe she got here without doing that? Meanwhile, the live chat was also buzzing.
I knew Jessica's sudden rise in resources was fishy. Turns out she slept her way up.
Hilarious. Who was it that said Jessica and David were a perfect match? Come out and get roasted.
David, stay away from me.
Let's see how Jessica explains herself this time.
For a moment, all eyes were on me again. Just when everyone thought I would break down and leave the set, David spoke up first, with a cold laugh.
Hilarious. My dear wife just accompanied me to a hotel, and you all blow it out of proportion.
As soon as the words were spoken, the room fell silent.
So, you the ones throwing mud at my dear wife, huh? Stage manager, give me the guest list later.
David was relentless, defending everyone in our group.
I'm going to take each and every one of you to court.
Strangely enough, although David often teased me, he was the angriest when others bullied me.
Sarah, right? I know you.
What do you want, David?
Running to 10 hotels in one night, truly a model in the industry. Make sure to visit the hospital. You might be unwell without knowing it.
Sarah gritted her teeth, her face twisted in anger.
Chuckling.
I felt a secret delight and couldn't help but chuckle.
Emily, next time someone insults you, remember to fight back. You do have support, after all.
The comments exploded again.
Whoa, what a shocking revelation. Robert got married young?
Sarah, 10 hotels in one night? Is that for real?
This twist is so unexpected. Is it just a publicity stunt?
By the way, how does Jessica know Robert? They seem completely unrelated. In fact, I don't just know David. I also know the other 57 antagonists in this book, all of whom are madly in love with me. They used every trick to win me over. But later, they unanimously put me on their blacklist and created a small group to vent about my supposed unfaithfulness. Treating us all equally? What does she take us for? Backups? Unbelievable. Just because we like her? Guys, let's keep our dignity. We can't let her get away with this so easily. The next day, I looked at dozens of friend requests on WeChat and couldn't help but smirk. Who were they kidding? In the end, didn't they all secretly add me back with their alternate accounts?
I really did treat them all equally, without any intention of using them as backups. The main reason was that the system had given me a task. I could only return to my original world by becoming a top actress.
Of course, you can seek help from any antagonist in the book.
After the reality show aired, I became a trending topic.
Jessica David secretly married. Jessica gains top popularity on reality show. Jessica juggling 58 relationships.
Before I could react, my agent and best friend shoved the harshest blog post in my face.
Didn't expect this from you, Jessica. Playing the field, huh?
I took a closer look at the blog post. It was written meticulously, but there was something oddly familiar about it. But it shouldn't be. I had hidden them all so well, no one should know.
Even though the post didn't have a single incriminating photo, it sounded incredibly convincing. Many netizens had already started to bash me without thinking.
I knew it. Jessica and Robert were just for publicity. Now it's all falling apart.
No wonder I felt uneasy the first time I saw Jessica. She really does smoke and drink in private. Thanks to the blogger, I've completely turned against her. I slammed the tablet onto the table.
Who the heck is behind this?
My best friend pulled out her phone and showed me an account. I had our team investigate. This account has been repeatedly attacking you. We suspect the account owner is the mastermind. I looked at it. It was the account of a wealthy antagonist. I clicked in and saw that all the posts were about how terrible I was. Jessica, how dare you toy with my feelings? Do you even care about me? Jessica and David? Please, I'm the one she truly loves. Jessica, I advise you to settle down and not test my patience. The latest post was from just 3 minutes ago. Jessica, you haven't replied to my messages for 3 hours.
So, should we investigate further?
I waved my hand, clearing him of suspicion.
I can prove it's not him. If he didn't insult me, that would be unusual.
The conversation began with a proposition. How about joining a survival reality show to boost your popularity? And so, the next day, I found myself standing in a desolate forest, all thanks to a sudden notice. Coincidentally, Sarah, with whom I had a past grudge from a dating show, was also there.
Sarah, what are you doing here?
Given that David had publicly exposed her flaws, she should have been facing widespread criticism online. However, Sarah's PR team did an excellent job, and she responded to reporters with a consistent "I don't know."
I can't believe her reputation is intact after all that.
Moreover, when the negative news about my supposed multiple relationships broke out, Sarah's reputation was completely restored.
I've already checked. David's schedule is packed this week. Do you think he can come to your rescue this time?
Her insinuation made me uneasy. Sure enough, under her instigation, no one wanted to team up with me.
This show is different from the dating one. It's live-streamed, but the crew won't intervene in emergencies.
Surviving 7 days and nights in the wild without a teammate was a daunting task. The director was a stubborn old man, insisting on the adapt and overcome style.
An artist who can adapt is just a pretty face in the entertainment industry. This survival show relies entirely on self-sufficiency. You can form teams, but seeking outside help is strictly forbidden.
The last sentence was directed at me. Everyone knew about David defending me during the dating show.
Jessica, did you hear that? No outside help this time.
I heard you, Sarah.
But I doubt you know anyone other than David. Let's see if you can make it out of this forest alive on your own.
The stage was set, and the challenge had begun. As soon as she finished speaking, she led the other 6 people and took all my supplies. Then they swaggered off into the depths of the jungle.
I reported this to the director, but he pretended not to see anything.
In the extreme survival show, everything follows the law of the jungle. The rest is up to you to adapt.
It seemed they were determined to stick to the adapt or perish style. Seeing my dejected look, the live chat started buzzing. Did I see that right? Jessica is being isolated? Why do I feel a bit sorry for her? Isn't Sarah being a bit too much? To the person above, you feel sorry for her? This is clearly her own fault for not managing her relationships well. What does it have to do with our Sarah? No supplies, no teammates. I had to set up camp all by myself. Fortunately, I had watched quite a few wilderness survival documentaries on the Science Channel before, so setting up camp wasn't too difficult. Using materials I found on the spot, I clumsily built a thatched hut. Night slowly spread from the left to the right, eventually enveloping the entire sky. Exhausted and hungry, I hugged myself and fell asleep. The next morning, I almost suffocated from the thatch. Upon closer inspection, the hut had collapsed. Sarah, with her 6 companions, looked down at me with a sneer as I lay on the ground.
Quite unfortunate, your thatched hut is an eyesore to me.
We underestimated you. We thought you'd sleep out in the open.
Then, she lit my thatched hut with a lighter. The flames climbed in the slightly damp morning air, casting shadows that nearly choked me.
Jessica, you should be thanking me. Don't forget, I'm helping you develop your adaptability.
If I had run any slower, I might have been burned alive, let alone adapt. Enough is enough. I couldn't take it anymore.
I grabbed Sarah by the collar and slapped her hard twice. The live comments exploded with disbelief and astonishment.
What the heck did Jessica do?
Does she not want to stay in the entertainment industry anymore? How dare she hit my Emily?
Get your facts straight. It was Sarah who first took Jessica's supplies and then set her straw hut on fire. Doesn't she deserve to be hit?
Agreed, Sarah really went too far.
After I slapped Sarah twice, she looked at me in disbelief.
How dare you hit me?
I'll hit you if I want to.
How about you reincarnate as an animal in your next life? I've never seen anyone behave like you.
Sarah's eyes widened with rage, and she was about to retaliate when something suddenly fell from the sky, startling her.
What on earth?
I looked up and saw it was a bag of French bread.
French bread?
Looking further up, I saw an absurdly out-of-place helicopter dropping supplies.
There's more. Chocolates, chips, spicy noodles, and hot pot, all my favorite foods.
And they were all aimed at Sarah and her group of 7.
You're something else.
Everyone was dumbfounded. Except for me, who looked up and smiled, making eye contact with the person in the helicopter. The live comments exploded again.
Am I seeing things? Is that business mogul Michael flying the helicopter?
Isn't Mr. Michael supposed to have no connections with the entertainment industry? Who is he here for?
Why does Jessica look so calm? Does she really think Mr. Michael came to this survival show for her?
That's hilarious. How could a minor, obscure actress like her possibly know Mr. Michael?
The moment Michael stepped off the helicopter, dressed in a sleek black suit, the first thing he did was lift Jessica's chin.
Jessica, didn't I tell you not to test my patience? 27 hours without a reply, what does that mean?
But I clearly remember replying.
Michael's lips twitched in frustration.
Are you accusing me of lying?
Jessica tugged at Michael's sleeve, ready to apologize, but he brushed her off.
Now you want to make amends? Too late.
Are you seriously being this petty?
Michael was taken aback by her tone, pointing to himself.
Jessica, did you just talk to me like that?
Jessica rolled her eyes in exasperation.
Michael, you really have too much time on your hands. Managing 58 people is exhausting enough, and instead of understanding, you're throwing a tantrum. Isn't this just pure idleness?
Sarah, who had been observing from the side for a while, laughed disdainfully when she saw the discord between Michael and Jessica.
Jessica, do you even know who you're standing in front of? Daring to offend Mr. Michael, you can kiss your career in the entertainment industry goodbye.
The comments were equally shocked.
Did I see that right? Jessica actually dared to speak to Mr. Michael like that?
The last person who was this arrogant in front of Mr. Michael is long gone.
Jessica.
Eerie the forest was eerily silent, and Michael's face was so dark it seemed ink could drip from it. Everyone held their breath, waiting for Michael to explode and throw me out for my audacity. But to everyone's surprise, Michael suddenly turned on Sarah. Angry, who do you think you are? Shocked, what? What do you mean? Angry, do you think you can just criticize my darling? Shocked, Sarah's jaw dropped in shock, her face full of disbelief. No one expected what happened next. Michael, with a pitiful expression, grabbed my wrist and shook it gently, almost whining. Sad darling, I shouldn't have been so harsh with you. Please don't be mad at me, okay? Confused Michael, what are you doing? Serious look, as soon as I saw you were hungry and cold, I flew over immediately to drop supplies for you. Even if I didn't do it perfectly, I tried my best. Excited, the live comments section exploded with discussions. Did I hear that right? Did Michael just call Jessica darling?
Who exactly is Jessica, that even Michael treats her so affectionately?
Who could she be? She probably used some tricks to climb up the ranks. There are plenty of such examples in the entertainment industry.
But Michael flying a helicopter to drop supplies for his beloved is really cool. Ah.
Sarcastic David. Is it appropriate for you to talk about this when I'm not around? Amused, I don't know if it's appropriate, but this guy sure is self-aware. Not only did he have 10 people help me set up a tent that could shield from wind and rain, but he also openly set up a pot on the ground. He started dumping in all the supplies he had just dropped, like snail noodles and spicy hot pot. Astonished, what on earth is happening? Cheerful Sarah and her 6 companions were wide-eyed with astonishment. The live comments were even more animated.
Wow, the big boss Michael is here, and it's a whole different game. Survival in the wild has turned into a gourmet show.
Laughing, I'm dying of laughter. Just curious, how many years would they get for marrying each other?
Sarah must be dumbfounded. She thought she had won by taking Jessica's supplies, but her boyfriend showed up and slapped her in the face.
Serious the moment I took a few bites of my snail noodles, Sarah and the production team barged in, causing a commotion.
You are violating the show's rules. Doing this in front of a national audience is a slap in the face to our production team.
Even if Mr. Michael dominates the business world, he can't do this. It's so unfair to the others.
Serious, the director immediately issued an eviction order.
Jessica, please voluntarily withdraw from the show.
Serious, the room fell silent. Everyone was keen to see Michael's reaction. A dominant figure in the business world, Michael was not one to be challenged lightly.
Understood. As long as my darling is here, you can't continue filming this show. David, make a call and bankrupt the production team right now.
Serious, the director was stunned and looked at me for help.
Jessica, this isn't appropriate, is it?
Serious, I closed my eyes, pretending not to see.
Now you want to ask my wife for help? Don't you think it's a bit late?
Serious, he then turned his attention to Sarah.
Some people took my darling's supplies and blatantly bullied her. Why are they pretending to be mute now?
Serious, Sarah's face turned pale, but she still mustered the courage to retort.
Jessica, don't think that just because you have backing, you can throw baseless accusations at me. The supplies were obtained through personal ability. If you lack the ability, don't blame me.
Serious, I laughed. This was a classic case of twisting the facts.
You deliberately tried to harm my wife. I've already called the authorities. Whether it's baseless accusations or criminal facts, let the police decide.
Excited, the comment section exploded. Wow, Mr. Michael is indeed decisive. A true protector of his wife.
Calling to bankrupt the production team, that's the power of wealth.
Hilarious, Sarah's reputation is completely ruined this time, right?
After the survival reality show aired, the production team went bankrupt. Sarah's reputation also completely collapsed. Social media was buzzing, and out of 10 trending topics, 200 were about Jessica.
Who is spreading rumors this time? How would he know if my feet smell or not?
Jessica's best friend used a stylus to click into the poster's profile and found that he had also shared a post about Jessica dating 58 people at once.
He must be the mastermind behind this. If this continues, netizens will be misled. Should we ask Henry to check his identity?
Forget it, it's not like there's any solid evidence. Just get me a role.
After all, Jessica's goal was to become a top actress. But right now, she hadn't even acted in a single film. Jessica's best friend managed to get her a role in a major director's film, where she played a villainous character. Essentially, she was there to sabotage the female lead and act like a manipulative schemer.
Who cast this actress? Do you even know how to act? Understand your role. You're playing a villain, not the male lead's muse. If you can't do it right, get out.
Feeling wronged, Jessica picked up the script, ready to try again. Suddenly, a black shadow darted past her. It turned out to be the popular actress Samantha.
Mr. Brown, I've been in the industry longer than Jessica and can handle this role better. Besides, Jessica seems to have an image issue, and her past reviews aren't great. She might struggle with this role.
Samantha eagerly grabbed the director's hand, recommending herself. Jessica stood there, feeling the sting of Samantha's words.
It's not my fault that I was cast as the muse for all the male leads. After playing that role for so long, even my lines as a schemer have a hint of elegance.
The atmosphere was tense as the conversation unfolded.
Praising yourself while putting others down? Do you even realize what you're saying right now?
Leave. We don't need a pretty face who can't act. You've ruined this role. The crew's time is precious, we can't afford to waste it on you.
The director had never liked Jessica, and it was clear they had a replacement ready. Without giving her a chance, they just told her to leave.
Wow, that even rhymes? Want to kick me out? I'd be more than happy to leave.
The next moment, under everyone's gaze, Jessica ran into the set next door, which was even more prestigious. Robert personally welcomed her, making it a grand affair.
Did I see that right? That's the set of The Wanderer, isn't it?
That's the film most likely to win awards. Even with connections, it's hard to get in there.
Did Jessica do it on purpose? Just to get into that set?
Ahem, stop talking. Samantha is looking this way.
Jessica turned around and saw Samantha indeed glaring in her direction, teeth clenched.
Ha, want to compete with me? You're still too inexperienced.
Jessica did intentionally ruin that role. The reason was simple. She was still in the prime of her career, and playing such a role would only bring her negative attention. Besides, she was known for playing pure and innocent characters. She really couldn't pull off a scheming, manipulative one.
Who knew? Samantha wanted to compete with me in everything. But now that she's got what she wanted, the one who hates me the most is still her. Human nature is just so strange. They can't stand to see others doing well, especially not better than themselves.
And so, the rivalry continued, but Jessica remained unfazed, confident in her decisions and her path forward. With Robert's thoughtful guidance, I made rapid progress. The director praised me while expressing his admiration.
Jessica is one of the rare actresses in the entertainment industry who can portray a character so perfectly.
His words felt almost prophetic. How else could I have won an award as soon as the film was released? In front of the podium, countless flashbulbs were going off in my direction. I cleared my throat and delivered my prepared acceptance speech.
I am deeply honored to receive this award. It serves as both a motivation for my hard work and an affirmation of my acting skills by the audience. I hope to bring more and better works to everyone in the future.
As I put down the microphone, the audience erupted in applause. I calmly walked off the stage, only to lock eyes with Samantha. She was sitting in the audience, her gaze as sharp as poisoned needles.
Jessica, you did this on purpose.
You grabbed that role yourself. It's none of my business.
Jessica! I won't let you get away with this.
Whatever.
After all, you can't beat me. As it turns out, one shouldn't be so confident. For instance, right now, I'm being blocked by a swarm of reporters, making it impossible to move.
Jessica, it said that you snatched the lead role of Yi Zhu.
The tension was palpable as I stood amidst the throng of reporters, their relentless questions echoing around me.
Jessica, please respond directly. Did you win this award by taking someone else's role? Are you undeserving?
The barrage of accusations continued, their words stinging like venom.
I knew there was something fishy about Jessica winning this award.
I thought Jessica was really talented, but she's just a pretty face with connections.
On the surface, I remained calm. But deep down, I was cursing furiously. Yet, cursing wouldn't help, they wouldn't believe me.
That's how people are. They want to see the most beautiful flowers in the world, but they don't give these flowers a chance to bloom.
Just then, a commotion broke out among the reporters.
Look, Robert just posted something.
Wow, is this an official announcement?
I can't help but be moved. He's openly defending Jessica against the haters.
I took out my phone and saw the top trending topic, #David has connections and that's great. I clicked on it and saw David's reply to a netizen's comment.
Taking someone else's role openly. Having connections is really something, huh? Yes, it is.
But that wasn't the end of it. David also posted a blog for me, explaining that I got the role based on my own merit, and there was no taking involved. He also attached a surveillance video of Samantha trying to push me out and promote herself on set.
Video for reference only. And please, my actions should not be attributed to Jessica herself. Do not harass her online.
As the reporters watched the video, their expressions softened, and the accusatory tone. Overnight, Jessica's reputation took a dramatic turn. More and better scripts started pouring in. However, something annoyed her immensely.
These ridiculous revelations are outrageous. Who's behind this?
Before Jessica could uncover the culprit, she was kidnapped from her new film's promotional event.
What's happening? Where are they taking me?
After a short while, Jessica found herself in a dimly lit warehouse. In front of her stood Sarah, whom she hadn't seen in a long time, and a burly man with a fierce face.
Jessica, didn't expect this day to come for you, did you? Do you know how much you've made me suffer?
Sarah? What are you talking about?
Because of you, I spent several months in detention. Not only that, but I was also relentlessly insulted by netizens. You must be very happy, right?
Jessica, her brain short-circuiting, gave a sycophantic smile.
Should I cry a little, then?
Sarah's face darkened.
How dare you smile? Scar her face for me.
The burly man obediently had a few of his underlings hold Jessica down and approached her slowly with the knife.
Stop right there. Do you know who I am?
You are a big star.
Yes, I am a big star. So, do you want an autograph from a big star?
A little, yes.
Then you need to have your underlings let go of me first, so I can give you an autograph, right?
Right? The burly man, bewildered by her coaxing, was about to untie her.
Useless. Can't you see she's manipulating you?
The tension in the warehouse was palpable as Sarah pushed him away, determined.
Serious Jessica rolled her eyes helplessly. Domineering Jessica, stop playing tricks in front of me. Serious Sarah pointed at Jessica, her tone filled with disdain. Domineering, trying to buy time for someone to rescue you? Let me tell you, that's impossible. My backer now is James, and he controls all the gangs in Jinghai. To be honest, I never intended for you to leave here alive today. Serious Sarah's voice dripped with malice as she continued her rant. Confused, why don't you seem scared at all? Serious indeed, while Sarah had been babbling in front of Jessica for so long, she had only one thought in her mind. Irritated, whatever, I just find you annoying. Serious Sarah lost her temper immediately and picked up a knife, ready to slash Jessica's face. Relieved at the critical moment, the warehouse door was suddenly kicked open. Serious Jessica looked towards the door and saw a tall figure. Behind him was a large group of people, all armed. Serious Daniel was dressed in black leather, holding a spiked club, with a cigarette dangling from his mouth. He looked as cool as ever. Serious, if you know what's good for you, let her go. Don't wait until things get really ugly. Serious Sarah was completely stunned, and the tough guys around her were now cowering behind her, too scared to come out. Terrified, you didn't say we were really going to fight. I'm scared to death. Angry. Is this the time for internal conflict? Stand up. Hurry up and call James. Serious, she pressed a knife to Jessica's neck, threatening Daniel. Shouting, don't come any closer. If you do, I'll end her. Irritated, you're really annoying. Shouting, shut up. Push me, and I'll end you. Serious unexpectedly, Daniel just chuckled and had his men drag out a barely conscious man. Serious, the James you're talking about, is it him?
Sarah's eyes widened in disbelief, her face a picture of shock.
James? James? How could you?
With a slight tap of his slender fingers, Daniel flicked the ash from his cigarette and sneered.
Unfortunately, he's been behind on his rent lately. I just sent someone to have a chat with him. Or do you want to have a chat too?
Taking advantage of Sarah's distraction, Daniel swiftly and deftly pulled me away from her grasp.
Sweetheart, are you okay? Let me see, where are you hurt?
Although Daniel always put on a cold and aloof facade in front of others, he acted like a big kid around me. Seeing that I was mostly unharmed, his long, narrow eyes turned red.
Thank goodness you're all right. Otherwise, I'd feel guilty forever.
I stood on tiptoe and gently patted his head.
Oh, come on, don't cry. You're getting snot on my clothes.
Later, Daniel took down James's entire organization. Sarah ended up in prison too. But she suddenly requested to see me.
I'm the one who's been leaking all your secrets online.
I raised an eyebrow in confusion.
Why? Do we have a grudge?
Of course we do, a deep-seated one.
Sarah sobbed uncontrollably.
Why do you have to be so good-looking and know so many influential people? I'm dying of jealousy.
Seriously?
But then I thought, wait a minute.
We're not even close. How do you know so many of my personal secrets?
I joined the group chat that Sarah added me to. The moment I entered, I was stunned. All 58 of the antagonists were there.
I can't take it anymore, guys. Jessica's snoring is keeping me up all night.
He then sends a 59-second voice message.
Don't even mention it, I'm so envious right now.
I don't even get the chance to sleep next to my sweetheart.
That's a solid 6 for me.
Well, you don't need to be too jealous. Her feet smell, and she drools in her sleep.
And then it trends.
Played cards with Jessica today, and she blatantly cheated at my place?
Don't worry about it, that's just her personality.
Last time, she secretly used her phone to play Go With Me.
Another solid 6 for me.
And then it trends.
Darn, Jessica got kidnapped. Who's going to handle this?
I'm busy with my schedule, no time.
I'm swamped with studies, can't do it.
Why is everyone looking at me? I only know how to code.
Well, I guess I could take one for the team.
Me? So, they all act like innocent lambs on the surface, but secretly formed a group to badmouth me? I can't stand this. I immediately tagged everyone.
Let's break up, you jerks.
All antagonists.
Oh no, we've been found out. Someone go calm her down.
6.
Excited, the Golden Horse Awards ceremony was in full swing. The spotlight was on me, and the atmosphere buzzed with anticipation. Friendly, we all know this is your first Golden Horse Award. Is there anyone you'd like to thank? Cheerful, holding the trophy, I stood at the front of the stage and caught the eyes of the 58 antagonists in the audience.
Of course. My dear 58 beloved husbands.
Serious, as soon as the words left my mouth, the entire venue was stunned. Curious, so, is the rumor about you being involved with 58 people true? Mysterious, true or false? Let's not discuss that for now. But I do have a few secrets to share with everyone. Dramatic, all eyes were instantly on me, and the room fell silent. The antagonists wore puzzled expressions. Amused, the next second, I pulled out a 10-meter-long strip of paper from my pocket. On it were written all the little quirks of the 58 antagonists. Gleeful that day, tens of millions of people across the country watched their public embarrassment unfold. I almost forgot to mention. I am even more vindictive